Our next speaker is going to be addressing something I think we've all experienced. As we spend longer hours in front of our screens, it's easy to forget the effects that can have on our eye health, on our skin health, and our emotional well-being. So our next speaker is going to give us some different options to think about in taking better care of ourselves, as well as learning how to unplug at the end of the day. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Maureen Kelly and her topic of screen time self-care.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. This has been a really fun event. I've been following along when I can. So welcome to you all. My name is Maureen Kelly. I am one of the owners of Fifth Sun Brokers. And we represent and educate on several really amazing companies that you can find in your Dorothy Lane Market Healthy Living Department. So again, thank you so much to Dorothy Lane for hosting this really fun event and for giving me some time to help you do some screen time self-care. So really now, this last year, think back a bit. More than ever, we're in front of our devices. It's kind of unbelievable how much the last 12 plus months has increased our screen time here. So I have a lot of information to share, some really fun stuff too, and some products that can help you take care of yourselves. The screen time affects our bodies in different ways. So we want to kind of talk about those different body systems, but first I'll do just a quick little itinerary on the screen time self-care that I have prepared for us and some of the featured products really quickly. So the first part of our body I want to talk about supporting, it's kind of multifaceted. Our nervous system and our brain, those two things are constantly in communication. And there's another part called the parasympathetic nervous system. And you may have heard people refer to this as the rest and digest. So it's sort of like the opposite of the fight or flight, right? It's the rest of the day. We need to be unwinding and chilling out. So that's the first part of our body we're going to be talking about supporting. And those products are from Pranaram. And this is the Unplug blends that we're going to feature. There are 3 of them. The first is the Digital Detox, and then we also have the Find Focus, and then the Downtime. So you can kind of get a little sneak peek on what those might be for supporting by the names. Pranaram is all about scientific aromatherapy, and you have a couple of samples. If you got that super lucky, awesome gift bag from Dorothy Lane Market, you either have a sample of our Mental Clarity Wellness Blend or our Peace Diffusion Blend. So if you want to have those handy, we're going to use those in a little bit. The next product line that I'm going to feature is from Nordic Naturals. And so Nordic Naturals is an omega oil company as well as an essential nutrient company. We really got our start in fish oil. Fish oil omega-3s really support all over the body, but today we're going to be talking about our eyes, vision, right? A little glare there. So Omega Vision is a fantastic formula. It's got a really high dose of omega-3s, but it also has some zeaxanthin and lutein, which are really important for eye health. This is going to support our eyes, but also our retinas, the brain health, our vision health, memory retention, all kinds of really important things. You also got a sample from Nordic Naturals, and so that's going to vary as far as flavor. It might be lemon or strawberry, but you should have some kind of omega-3 capsule if you want to get that out. The third part of our body that we are going to be supporting is our largest, right? What's our largest organ? Our skin. So we have our skin, which holds everything together, holds everything inside. It's our basic first line of protection from all the things in the air, all of the blue light, the UVA, UVB. It goes through a lot. So we want to help support that part of our skin as well. And I have a couple of really perfectly suited products from Derma E, which is a natural body care company. We've been around for over 36 years in the industry. They created two really awesome products. It's the blue light spray. It's a protectant spray, and then the blue light concentrated serum. So these are both a part of our Purify and Protect line. You do have some Derma E samples as well. And they unfortunately aren't these samples because they're so new. We have not made a sample package of them yet, but you'll get to experience the product and feel it on your skin. It's really lovely. But all of the Derma E samples are going to really help support aging and protection through antioxidants, which is what we believe in at Derma E. So with that little itinerary, we are going to just dive right in with Pranaram and our unplugged blends. Let me get a quick drink here. Thank you. So first I want to show or tell, excuse me. I first want to tell you some fun facts about essential oils. We've heard all about them, and a lot of people know about them, but they don't know sort of what makes them up. So there's a few things that are kind of surprising here. So 2,000 pounds of lavender flowers, that's a lot, is going to distill 1 gallon of lavender oil. And then about 2,000 pounds of oranges is going to distill 10 gallons of orange oil. Okay, this is a lot of plant material. The most, I guess, the most persuasive and amazing example is the rose oil example. So it takes 5.5 million roses to make 1 liter of rose oil. So just to break that down a little bit further, that's 30 rosebuds in 1 drop of rose oil. Okay, so when we're talking about essential oils, we are talking about these incredibly potent and extremely concentrated compounds. And it's really interesting to see why they were created by plants, how we can use them to help ourselves. So I'll just kind of give you a little bit more background. I like to do that so that we sort of understand why we're doing what we're doing. You know, people say, I want lavender to help my sleep with an essential oil. And I'll say, oh, great. How come, like, what made you think that? I know it's good. I know it's good for relaxing. So why do essential oils exist? Well, they are actually the concentrated volatile oils that are found in the bark, the seeds, the flowers, and the leaves of plants. So you can sort of think of them as the plant's immune system, which is kind of cool. So these various volatile oils and their concentrations can actually be adjusted by the plant. And that is based on various stressors in their environment. So say they're being attacked by some certain insects, say that they're trying to ward off those insects, so they're going to make oils to deter them. There might be an herbicide or pesticide application. That's going to change what they're making. Maybe a deer is coming by and browsing a little bit. So we really have this amazing tool in essential oils. And so let's try some out. So if you want to get out your little sample pack from Pranaram, if you have the, it's going to be a pink label that says mental clarity. If you have that one, we're going to go ahead and hand diffuse it here in our hands. If you have the Peace diffusion blend, if you're able to just go grab a tissue, you can put that on there. We want to use our diffusion blends in a diffuser. If we want to use them topically, we just need to put another carrier oil down. So like if you have some lavender or coconut oil hanging out near you, you can put a couple drops of that on and then hand diffuse this Peace diffusion blend. So first, before we open this oil, we're going to take a deep breath without the oils. Okay, spend a moment checking in with yourself. So we're going to just take a deep breath. You have to do it. Come on. I know you need a deep breath. Ready? Good. So how do you feel in those moments? Are you congested? Can you not even breathe through your nose? You have a headache? Are you sleepy? Do you feel stressed? Are you tired? Hopefully you're feeling good. You've been doing this event for a few hours and hearing all about how to take care of yourself. But it's important to check in and see how you feel. So we're going to hand diffuse. What does that mean? We're going to put a couple drops. Whoop, they come out kind of fast on your palm, and then when I heat up, we're going to fractionalize those essential oils, okay? And then we're going to cup our hands over our nose and mouth. We're going to take 5 really nice deep breaths. And I like to do a little rub in between my deep breaths, just to make sure I'm getting all the good stuff there is to get, okay? And you should really be inhaling deeply here, all the way down into your sinuses. I feel these oils all the way down here into my throat. And then if I got any extra, I usually kind of just wipe it all over me because it's wonderful to just have around. So how do we feel now? Do we feel different? Maybe your sinuses are a little more open. Maybe your brain kind of popped up a little bit. Feels like you had a jolt of something really nice. Maybe you're feeling refreshed and refocused. Maybe you're feeling calm or at ease. Maybe think about how you felt before and how you feel now. So essential oils are basically our link to nature, which is great. We need to sustain that connection to nature. We are animals, even though we're very complex ones. We still need nature. We need sun. We need time outside. How do you feel outside on a walk, on a sunny day? Think about your favorite place outside. So nature is really our reset place. According to a study from the Journal of Positive Psychology, people who spend as little as 5 minutes sitting in nature experience an increase in positive emotions. So a lot of us can't get outside as much as we used to, right? We're in front of these screens. We're working. Our kids are virtual learning. We have meetings. We have all kinds of stuff. And then if we need to use them for entertainment, we can cook dinner. You know, it's not always easy to get outside. So essential oils can really help sustain that connection for you during the day. So I want to talk to you a little about Pranarum. It's a really, really fantastic company. I'm very proud to represent them. They are basically a certified organic essential oil company rooted in scientific aromatherapy. So you may be familiar with aromatherapy. Our stance comes from our founder. We were founded in 1975 by a gentleman named Dominique Badu. I did not pronounce that correctly, but I did my best. He is an incredible pharmacist and aromatologist in Europe. And he describes phytoaromatherapy or plant aromatherapy as a medicine of the earth that aims to really restore balance in an organism as a whole. Essential plant oils are incredibly complex structurally, and so they have many supportive possibilities. There's a lot going on in these oils, okay? So there's a lot of possible support that we can give our bodies. So all of the essential oils from Pranarum are 100% certified organic and EcoCert ICO. Each lot is gas chromatography and mass spectrometry tested, and each one is a chemotyped essential oil. What does that all mean? Really, it's a lot of very complicated sounding terms that just guarantee that we can identify every single molecule in that essential oil. We can identify different terpenes, aromatic molecules, basically anything in there is tested and classified. So that also includes any toxins, right? Those herbicides I mentioned earlier, damaging molecules, anything that isn't aligned with the purity of the oil, we can then detect and remove. Or possibly just not use that for our products, unfortunately. EcoCert ICO is basically a very, very strict sort of worldwide organic certification. So we do USDA organic because we are now selling in America, and we want people to recognize our certifications. However, EcoCert is much more stringent as far as getting that certification. So they test everything from the soil to the bottle. And the goal here is making sure that the volatile oil levels and the quantities of those levels are exactly where they need to be. So when you harvest and produce when you harvest and produce these plants organically, they actually have the ability to play a really vital role in our physical well-being. So an example of that is, do you remember when I talked about that the plant oils are the plant's immune system? So these oils are helping to ward off predators, disease, as well as attract pollinators, which is super cool. It's how they, interact with their environment. Well, when they're sprayed with pesticides and herbicides, the plant's environment suddenly has changed. So that signals to the plant that it needs to modify its oil production. So it's not going to make as strong of an oil if something is acting. I kind of think of like the herbicides and pesticides as like some sort of like antibiotic. It's like, hey, we got some defenses for you, and the plant says, cool, I don't have to make as many now, thanks. And so then unfortunately, when we harvest those plants that have that herbicide or pesticide, we can't wash that off. So they often contain trace amounts of those toxic chemicals. And then those are distilled and concentrated in that essential oil, which is real yucky. We don't want to put that type of oil on our skin, or we don't want to inhale it. So again, all of our oils are organically grown. They're harvested and packaged with intention and transparency. So really the root of scientific aromatherapy is the therapeutic vitality and the healing properties found in organic, healthy plants. So doing it any other way, it doesn't make sense for us. And just to kind of give you a background of how potent these are, in certain European countries, you do need a prescription from an aromatologist or a pharmacist to get these types of oils. So it's really fantastic that we can just bop on down to Dorothy Lane and get our groceries and pop into Healthy Living and get what we need to take care of ourselves, mind, body, spirit. So how can essential oils help us with screen time? I talked a lot about essential oils. So what do we need to do with them to help ourselves here with kind of unplugging a little bit? So just last year, I think this was from 2019, a Common Sense Media study showed that screen time for entertainment was at an all-time high. The daily screen time averages for children were 12 to 18 years old. So teenagers were about 9 hours a day. Children were about 6 hours a day. Those children 8 to 12 years old. And then little babies 0 to 8 months, about 50 minutes a day. So what are the signs that you need to maybe unplug from your device? Perhaps you are easily distracted. You're texting and driving. You're not good at it, I promise. Be careful. You can't be without your phone. Maybe you're always holding it. You're checking it for no reason. You're opening an app, closing it, opening it back up. Maybe you're eating with your phone at the table. You're falling asleep with screens. Maybe your sleep is not what you want it to be. So screen habits and dopamine have an interesting relationship. So dopamine is a neurotransmitter that our body makes. It's just a natural chemical. It's produced by our brains to motivate our behavior. So it's kind of like our reward chemical. So social media can actually be addictive because it's organized and designed to make us feel a lift through those dopamine spikes. So those likes and interactions, that is what's giving you those dopamine spikes. It's so clever, right? So instead, we can use this dopamine pathway right up here, our olfactory dopamine pathway, for a positive boost and our direct connection to nature, so that maybe we can replace the screen time with the new activity. Maybe going on for a walk, maybe reading a book, even listening to a podcast. That's something you can do and not look at your screen. So today I want to talk about the blends a little bit. The digital detox is first. First off, these are all originally priced at $9.99, and everything I'm talking about is already on sale at Dorothy Lane. It's going to be continuing to be on sale, I believe, till Tuesday. So all of these are going to be discounted from $9.99, which is a really good price. So you can pick up all of them if you like. First, the Digital Detox. So this is specifically formulated for the new digital age. This is fantastic for all ages in a diffuser. You can also hand diffuse it, which I have been doing a lot when I've been working on this presentation. This and the find focus and the downtime have helped me a lot. So, and I'm also curious, you know, where do everybody use diffusers? Do you use them in your home, like just the general, you know, common areas in your bedroom? And maybe you use them in the shower, your child's room. I always love to just put a couple drops on a tissue if I don't have a diffuser handy. And then again, hand diffusing is really great. The digital, I'm sorry, not the Digital Detox. The Find Focus is my next one. This is the fantastic concentration boost. So this really helps with like just minimizing distractions and multitasking. And it blends a really lovely bright lemongrass that kind of provides clarity and balance, and supports focused attention with some really nice refreshing peppermint, sweet orange, and grapefruit. These all smell incredible. The downtime. So the downtime is for after, as the name implies. We want to unplug from those and chill out and give ourselves some rest and relaxation after all that stimulation, right? We need to unwind. So this is a really peaceful blend that supports really deep relaxation and restful sleep. So it's really soothing, with sweet orange, lavender, and it's balanced with cedarwood and chamomile. So this blend is really nice to help support quality sleep. And I know I'm going to be covering a lot of information. So please, we're going to do all the questions at the end. So now that we've talked about some of our support for our nervous system and brain and our well-being, now we're going to move on to the part that stares at our screen all day, our eyes. So Nordic Naturals, this is our Omega Vision, as I showed you before. This is a really fantastic product. We heard a little bit about omega-3s already from some other presenters. They're really important. We talk about them a lot in this industry. First, I'll tell you a little bit about Nordic Naturals as a company. So really, we at Nordic Naturals are committed to making the safest and most effective nutrients for health. And we are a leader in the omega-3 industry. And that's really because of Nordic Naturals' transparency and amazing manufacturing technology. So manufacturing that specifically makes it a better experience for you as a customer. So did you know that fish burps, which I'm sure if you've tried a fish oil that's not Nordic, you may have experienced this. If you buy a low quality fish oil, you know, you got like, I got 360 for $9.99. It might be making you burp. And so that's because oxygen is present during the manufacturing process. And that actually makes the fish oil rancid. So that's why you're burping it up, because your body isn't able to digest it as well. So when we say no fish burps, we don't need to enteric coat it. We don't need you to put it in the freezer. It's fresh. It's processed in a non-oxygen environment, completely nitrogen environment. And so we get the highest quality omega-3. And it's actually, we have the #1 selling fish oil in the United States, and we have for quite a few years. There's a lot of product offerings from Nordic Naturals. If you do have a familiarity with the company, you know, we have delicious gummies, we have amazing kids products, but we are rooted in omega-3s. And since we're talking about eye health today, we're really gonna focus on that Omega Vision. But first, I want you to get out your sample. So you should have a sample of maybe an Ultimate Omega, maybe you have an Omega Mini, maybe you have a Omega-3, you might have a kid sample. So when I said that Nordic Naturals is a leader and does that oxygen-free processing, it's really easy to say that. So I'm going to show you that it is a delicious experience. I'm very picky. I don't love a lot of fish, but Nordic Naturals has made their capsules chewable. Only capsules that have fish oil and vitamin B. Don't buy the omega curcumin and chew up the capsule. That will not be a good experience. But if it is just fish oil, you can go ahead and pop it into your mouth. If you want to do it with me, ready? We're just going to chew it up. It already burst. See? And you can either spit out the capsule or you can swallow it. It's bovine gelatin, so it's good for your joints and all kinds of other places. So I'm just going to swallow mine. It's so easy. I spoke to a woman in the aisle the other day and she's like, wait, you can buy a capsule? I'm just going to buy it for that. I'm so sick of taking pills. So, you know, we swallow a lot of supplements, I think, some of us. So that is the best I can show you, that we have a really fresh oxygen-free product that makes it really light, fresh, kind of the texture of olive oil. It's got a nice little lemon flavor. It's great. So why do we need omega-3s? What are they? So many people talk about omega-3s. And I hear people say, I need to take omega-3s, and they don't really know why, and they don't really know what they are. So I want to sort of demystify it a little bit here and explain the background. So omega-3s are long-chain polyunsaturated fatty acids, or PUFAs, which I think is a fun acronym. So they're PUFAs that are commonly found in fish, in shellfish, some green leafy vegetables, and some algae. So when a health practitioner or studies are stating omega-3s, they're usually talking about EPA and DHA. If you actually turn your sample pack over that you have, you can see these compounds, these omega fats listed individually on the label. So these two types of omega-3s are called EFAs, or essential fatty acids, because our bodies need them for proper health and we cannot make them. So we need them, we can't make them, they have to come from our diet. And because omega-3s, we're not a fish eating culture, we don't eat a ton of fish. My sister went to Iceland a couple of years ago, and pre-COVID member vacations, she went and got up in the morning and sent me a picture of their breakfast buffet at the hotel, and there was a little stainless steel container with fresh cod liver oil, shot glasses, and lemons. So when I'm saying fish eating culture, right, any American would be like, what is that? What is happening? So we eat another kind of omega-3 in this country more often. It's called ALA. So that is that plant source that we have from leafy vegetables, flax seeds, chia, walnuts. Another excellent fat that we need for our diet. Well, omega-6 is bad, right? Good. I mean, there is too much of a good thing. So omega-6 is another essential fatty acid that we cannot make and we need from our diet. So it's also a PUFA, and it's also an EFA, an essential fatty acid. This is found in vegetable oils, nuts, seeds. So okay, I think I'm back here. I hope you can hear me here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and keep going.
We can
Not
hear you
sure
loud
where I
and
lost
clear.
you. So all right, great. So omega-6s are also essential. We get them a lot more in our diet. So sunflower oil, safflower oil, cottonseed oil, soybean, nuts, seeds, peanut butter. It's got a ton of omega-6. So this is a linolenic acid, LA. So any processed food as well as omega-6, anything out of a fast food window, anything out of a box, most likely. You turn over some food labels and you look for those oils, they're going to be abundant. Okay, so just to give you a little bit more info on how big our imbalance is in this country. Excuse me. I haven't talked this much in a while. Okay, so the CDC did an interesting study. This was back in, I think, 2012. So this was quite a while ago. They looked at the typical American diet and the fat consumption. So nearly 37% was omega-6 daily intake. How much omega-3? You ready for this? 2.2%. So 37% omega-6, 2.2% omega-3. We're supposed to be getting those in equal ratios, if not a little bit more omega-3 than 6. So that's a huge imbalance. Huge imbalance. So we know what they are now. Why do we need them? So we need them both because they basically run our entire immune system, and they basically make up every single cell in our body. So a good example I have is that, say I'm hanging a picture on the wall and I'm using a hammer to get that nail in, and I hit my thumb with that hammer. Well, what's going to happen? I'm going to scream, and internally, my body is going to be in emergency mode. Okay, it's going to be sending immune response messages to different parts of my body. So those messages are going to be inflammatory because we need to assess the damage in that thumb. We need to constrict the blood vessels. We're going to increase pain sensitivity. Your skin is going to become even more red and inflamed. You're going to get swelling. Your body is figuring out what's happening, and it's trying to get some, emergency ambulance activity in there. But your body can't stay in that state. So omega-3s are our ability to resolve that injury. So we can't stay in that, emergency state. We have to have somebody come in, right? Have the medics come in and say, hey, all right, we're good. This, she iced it, she put some arnica on it, it's all good. So omega-3s are going to come along, they're going to relax the vessels, they're going to decrease the pain sensation, they're going to increase cellular activity for healing, they're going to increase circulation, and they're going to increase flexibility in the cells. So the more flexible the cell walls are, the faster waste can get out, the faster nutrients can get in, and the faster that cell can work. And that's where we are wanting that optimum health, that optimum cellular activity. Another example is, imagine that injured hand is a freeway, and that thumb, that swelling and injury site, is an accident, right? All hands on deck, there's an accident. So the omega-6s are the cars on that road, and the omega-3s are the ambulance. So basically, if you have a 37% a day of your fats are omega-6, you have way too many cars on the freeway. And that 2.2% omega-3 ambulance is just trying to get through, but it's going to be really difficult. So when you think about omega-3s, kind of think about it as like, the more ambulances you have on the road, the more efficient and effective that they can be when they need to be. So I hope that sort of clarifies a little bit on omega-3s. There's a little bit more I want to share about how they work in the body, and then we'll get into the specific products and sort of how much people should be taking. So there's hundreds of different kinds of omega-3s. And as I said, the two main studied ones are EPA and DHA. There's a lot happening with ALA and DPA now, but omega-3, EPA, DHA are the ones that are sort of have the most established research. There's over 30,000 studies on omega-3s. And if you are a science lover like me, if you want to grab a pen, there is a fantastic website called omega-research.com. That's the word omega-research.com. Basically, Nordic Naturals went through and we databased all of the clinical studies from the National Institute of Health. And so they cataloged them there. It says on the bottom that, you know, we own the website, but there's no Nordic product. There's no information about us at all. We just wanted to give the consumers a chance to have a really accessible database. You can literally keyword search what you want to do. You can put in a specific disease or a specific issue and see what clinical studies have been done with omega-3s, which I think is super cool. The other thing we do with Nordic Naturals, real quick, is we have we can look up your third-party research. So if you want a sample of the assay result, your certificate of analysis for your fish oil, you can actually go to our website. There is a certificate of analysis function there. You just hit that, type in your lot number, and it will give you that analysis right there. So transparency, fantastic. A little bit more about our body. So I talked about our immune system. Our cells are another thing. So we have about 37 trillion cells in our body on average. That's a number you cannot fathom, right? 37 trillion. So really, you think about cells, they make up every single part of our body. We have trillions of skin cells. We have trillions of brain cells. We have trillions of heart, lung, all of our organs, our muscles, our bones. It's all just a bunch of cells put together. So all of them contain omega-3 fatty acids so that they can function properly. So they make up the outer membrane of our cells, right? The structure, and then they also help with how our cells work together, communicate together, so function. So they help with the structure and the function of our overall health. Up to 92% of Americans are already deficient in both omega-3s. So supplementation is really important if you don't get enough in your diet. And, you know, I don't get enough in my diet. So I take a couple of capsules every day, a lot of capsules every day, and some liquids as well. But it's easy to get your dose when you have such a high quality omega. So those 37 trillion cells need a lot of support. And everybody has a different amount of omega-3s that is going to help them maintain that foundational daily cellular activity. So unfortunately, I get this question a lot in the aisles, and I cannot answer it legally or scientifically for you. Is how much should everyone take? Well, unfortunately, we know how much vitamin C, we know how much, you know, minerals, certain minerals we need a day. Unfortunately, there's no universal consensus on omega-3 needs. There's so many variables. It's basically based on what their body needs to help them stay optimally healthy. So you can do a few things. You can look at your diet. You can talk to your doctor about getting an omega-3 index test in your red blood cells. That is a way that you can see firsthand how many are in your red blood cells, and so where you need to go from there. So obviously, we always want you to start with your doctor, but I will say that international experts do agree that 500 milligrams is enough to prevent omega-3 deficiency. And so since most Americans are deficient, as we've seen through research, it might not be enough for us to maintain deficiency, or I'm sorry, to maintain healthy levels. So our FDA recommends 1,000 milligrams of EPA-DHA if there is coronary heart disease in your family history. Since I believe the #1 killer in our country is still heart disease, that is something I think a lot of us can relate to, unfortunately. If you want more proactive support, they recommend about 1,000 milligrams to 1,500. If you want more of a high intensity support, or you want to move the needle on a condition, you have something that you want to support, then, you know, the FDA recognizes 3,000 milligrams as a safe upper limit of omega-3s, EPA-DHA. The EFSA, which is the European Food Safety Authority, they're sort of like the FDA over there, except they just regulate food and supplements. their upper limit is 5,000 milligrams a day. So those just some baselines for you to understand. Again, when we're reading a label, I just encourage you to make sure you know that total omega-3s, that might be hard for you to see, it's teensy, but total omega-3s on the label is not how much EPA, DHA you're getting. You want to look for them to be broken out on the label separately, and you can add those two numbers together to see exactly how much EPA and DHA you're getting. Some labels will say 1,000 milligrams of fish oil, but then you look below that and there's 200 or 300 milligrams of EPA and DHA. So, you know, with Nordic Naturals, you're always going to get a really dose. And it's always going to be fresh. Love to give our fish oil some synergistic nutrients to really help them support a specific part of the body. And so the two that we have featured in the Omega Vision are zeaxanthin and Floraglow lutein. So both of these ingredients are already found in your eyes, okay? These are things that we're replenishing. So they help protect our eyes from harmful light waves like those of the sun. They can also help maintain healthy moisture levels. So obviously, since they're already found in the eyes already, they're important. Studies suggest these nutrients, among others, can reduce the risk of some eye diseases such as cataracts and macular degeneration. Excuse me. So we have talked a lot about fish oil. We've talked about how it is in the body. I want to give you some fun facts real quick before we go. So the retina of your eye, that nerve there, it contains up to 60% DHA. That's a lot, okay? The brain contains up to 25% DHA. So when you're talking about being deficient in omega-3s, your body's going to use whatever fats it has. So make sure you're giving it the fats that it needs. Another fun eye fact is my partner, Nikki, the other owner of Fifth Sun Brokers. She lives up in the Cleveland area. She told me this yesterday as we were talking through this. She said she used to wear bifocals. And after 5 years of fish oil, by the way, she's 36. After 5 years of fish oil, she now only has single lenses for distance. So that's awesome. I love those little testimonials that I can share with you. So these are fantastic ingredients. There's a wonderful synergistic activity in this formula that helps support the structure and the function of your eyes while we have to stare at this screen. It's so funny, I'm talking about this stuff to a screen, right? We'll get back to real life. So now that we've looked at our protection, our support of our nervous system and our eyes, we want to explore how to support the largest organ of our body, and that's our skin. And we're going to do that from the outside in. So we are featuring Derma-E's Purify products. They're incredible. Derma-E is a leader in the natural skincare industry. We have been for over 36 years. They believe in anti-aging support through antioxidant protection, and that's based on the free radical theory of aging. That basically free radicals are mostly responsible, and if you can fight them with antioxidants and such, you can really help support anti-aging. All of our products are 100% vegan. They are 100% GMO-free, cruelty-free, and we strive to be an eco-ethical beauty company. And what does that mean? So clean beauty is all about being mindful of what we're putting in and on our bodies. And how those things will impact the environment. Just a quick PSA, a lot of people do not know that our SPFs are damaging our reefs at an alarming rate. So please, please, please do a little research on what you are using and what you are putting in our water systems. Even fresh water does empty to the ocean eventually. So if you want to pick up some reef safe SPFs, Derma-E has several for you as well. So we're getting into the sun season. Want to make sure we protect ourselves and also don't do damage to our environment in that process. So quickly, what is blue light anyway? So WebMD states that research shows blue light from electronic devices, they can lead to changes in skin cells, and that includes cell shrinkage and death. And those speed up the aging process. So nobody wants that. Too much blue light could also lead to pigmentation on the skin. So one study linked blue light exposure to swelling, redness, and pigment changes in people with darker skin tone or more melanin in their skin. So it's important to make sure we are protecting ourselves. What can we do? Well, we literally made products for you. Look at these. They're perfect. They say blue light right on the front. The Purify and Shield line is all based on really helping our skin purify and detox itself. So you're going to see a lot of activated charcoal. We have amazing products already. We added these 2 products to this platform because of the need that we have. So this is going to help purify help your skin purify itself from the harmful effects of the blue light. So the blue light spray is a continuous spray technology, which it's not an aerosol. It's sort of like a long sort of mist. Okay, so it's like a longer mist. I used this to set my makeup today. It was really nice. I knew I was going to come over here and sit in front of this computer. So it was really nice to just be able to put this on ahead of time. It's a great little package too. It's got a nice tight lid. It's not coming off, so you can put it in your purse, use it on the go, take it to work with you. This formula includes lutein. Do you recognize that one? So lutein is also in that Nordic Naturals Omega Vision. We're finding it here to put on topically as well. So that's pretty cool. The blue-green algae in there as well, activated charcoal, ginseng root, and rhodiola. So those all combine to really shield and energize the skin, as well as brighten it. As I said, you can take on the go, give yourself a little detox throughout the day, and you can set your makeup with it, which is so cool. You can put this serum under your makeup. So this includes the same really amazing ingredients as above, but it's a gel formula that basically, oh, it's so creamy and nice. It absorbs instantly for really immediate protection from those blue light stressors. It's this really nice gray color. It's sort of a silvery gray because of all those active ingredients. It's super silky. I've been using it for about a month, and I still have 3/4 of my container. I love Derma E2 because they last a long time. You can use a couple pumps or more a day, and you're going to have them there for a little while. So this is a fantastic product as well. The lutein helps boost our skin's defenses from those environmental stressors, and they help neutralize the look of photo aging and uneven skin. So it's interesting that the lutein is here doing something really different from the outside in, and then the Nordic Naturals lutein is going to be going from the inside and affecting our eye. The blue-green algae is great for nourishing, and it has minerals which are vital to our skin, and it reduces free radical damage. Activated charcoal, we should all be familiar with this one. We take it internally in capsules. It's a master detoxifier and purifier. I love using products on my skin that have it in there. It is so amazing at pulling in and binding all of these toxins and free radicals. The ginseng root is rich in vitamins, minerals, antioxidants. It really helps revitalize your skin. And the rhodiola rosea root is an adaptogen, one of my favorite adaptogens to take internally, but externally, it's known for energizing effects on the skin. So as I said, you can put the serum on under your makeup, and then you can go ahead and put your makeup on. And then at the end, you can go ahead and set your makeup with the blue light spray, and you will be good to go for the day. You will have that, secure defense in place, and you can help, really support and protect yourself from these damaging effects. So I just want to restate all the products, plus the entire product line from Pranarum, Nordic Naturals and Derma E will be on sale. It is on sale right now. It started on the 21st and they will be on sale through the 27th. So you have time to look at everything, see what you think, go in and get a great price. So thank you all so much. I know I threw a lot of information at you. I hope we have time for questions, and I'll go ahead and pass it back to Dorothy Lane Market. Thank you so much, everyone.
Maureen, thank you. That was absolutely wonderful. And we do have some questions from our audience. I have a customer who would like to know what product they can use to repair their dry, irritated skin.
So repairing dry, irritated skin is kind of twofold. First, you want to ask yourself what kind of skin you have if you are more sensitive. Some people that are sensitive and dry are not exfoliating at least once a week. They're kind of afraid of that. They're thinking it's going to make things worse. So exfoliating gently your dry skin, maybe using a glycolic cleanser like the vitamin A cleanser would be a nice gentle exfoliation. But then there are some really fantastic benefits from pretty much any Derma E moisturizer. We do have a hydrating line that I think would be fantastic for really helping dry skin. The Purify line is actually a very great choice for skin that is damaged, that's very dry. It is so detoxifying and also very, very gentle. So if, you know, acne type products have maybe bothered you before, or some other things have created more dryness, this Purify is a very emollient and moisturizing, but also gentle. So the antioxidants that are going to help with aging are also going to help repair your skin. That's what antioxidants do. They get in there and help repair. So
wonderful. And I have another question. We have someone who would like to know if you have any advice for how kids can practice screen time self-care.
So I think it's important that we don't underestimate children. They understand a lot more than what we give them credit for usually. So, you know, talking about what can happen. I remember when my niece was about 5 or 6, she talked about how, I don't know about TV. I really like it, but I notice my brain kind of turns off. So asking your kids to check into their bodies. How do you feel? Do you think maybe you'd want to move? I think asking children to balance active and quiet activities, or possibly screen time and outdoor or more active activities, isn't unreasonable. I would definitely recommend picking up the Chronorum Unplug formulas. That is literally going to help physically in that nervous system to help break that connection. Because that's really what it is. It's sort of they're getting those dopamine hits, right? Whether they're playing a game or they're watching a show, it's stimulating. So to calm down from that stimulation, you know, I think the digital detox would be fantastic to have on a tissue, encourage them to smell, maybe go for a walk afterwards. But also talking to your children, talking to them about how they feel in different places. And just keeping that open and making sure they're aware that they should be checking in. So we can guide them there.
That sounds good. We have another question. A customer would like to know what the numbers were that you referred to for, what were the numbers to look for regarding EPA and DHA?
Okay, so let me scroll back up here to my notes. So really the FDA, if we're talking about coronary heart disease support, if you have that in your family history and you want to lower your risk, we're talking about a combined 1,000 milligrams of EPA and DHA. So as an example, the Omega Vision has a total of 360 milligrams of EPA. That's a little bit lower because we focused on the DHA, which is 845 milligrams. So DHA is more prominent in your eyes. So that's why we put more of that omega. You do sort of want to have sort of a even ratio. For example, the omega-2x is about, let's see, 1125 of the EPA and 875 of the DHA. So really you want to look at least 500 milligrams or a combo of 1,000 milligrams of EPA DHA. And that's if you want proactive support. When you concentrate a fish oil, sometimes you'll have more EPA or more DHA, and it'll usually indicate why they've done that on the front, whether it's for brain support, vision support for DHA, or it's more for heart health and musculoskeletal support for EPA. But as long as you're adding those two numbers together and they equal at least 1,000 milligrams, you have a good potent fish oil.
Okay. And our next question, is there a blood test to find out your individual ratio of omega-3 to 6? And I hear that we consume a lot of omega-6 in our regular diet. So that's a great question.
It is a great question. And, you know, I really wish that they did this blood test, like just as a part of our normal panels, because I think it's really important and indicative of our health. You can ask your doctor about wanting to see your omega index in your red blood cells. So there is a test, I can't remember exactly what it's called, but that is what it's measuring. So you can get it done when you have a blood draw. It would be something you would have to add with your doctor. So some of them may not be aware, but you could do a quick Google search as well to see if it's something offered at any independent laboratories, but also double check with your doctor. But yeah, it's basically omega-3 index levels in your red blood cells. That's what you're looking for.
Very cool. All right, I think we have time for another question if you're game.
Okay.
I have someone who would like to know, should children take fish oil? What age and how much?
Okay, so did you know that Nordic Naturals has the #1 selling and the official fish oil of the American Pregnancy Association? When moms are pregnant, the baby takes all your DHA. They take everything, right? But they especially take your DHA and your omegas because they help, they actually use them to develop their brain and their nervous system. So DHA is literally the building blocks of a child's brain. A child should be taking fish oil from our standpoint from before they are born. But if that's not possible, starting as soon as possible is great. We have a ton of different children's products, and they're going to vary based on the age of the child. If they're 4 or under, we have some gummies and some chewable small capsules like the children's DHA. Usually children are about half of what adults need. So, you know, ours is about 500 milligrams for to remain or to support not being deficient. And the kids are about 250 to 300 milligrams. And then when you get into like high intensity support, if you want to focus on, you know, attention and decrease hyperactivity and things like that, that would be a proactive support. And you could go a little higher with some of our other kids products. But in the first year of life, your children's brain doubles in size. Remember that 25% of it is DHA. So it's vital. My son is 18 months and we give him fish oil every single day,